All right, let's get to our panel now. Let's bring in Republican strategist Jason Meath and Democratic strategist Roger Fisk. Joins us via Skype. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
All right, let me get your take on the president's tweet today. To me, it seems a little bit like maybe he doesn't understand the different branches of government and that everybody doesn't work for him. It's not the Trump organization. Let me start with you, Jason.
Well, you know, I mean, the president likes Twitter, okay? So we've all, you know, spoiler alert. And this is the way that he actually not only communicates to his base, but he also sort of uses it as a platform to be able to air his grievances.
Sure.
And in this case, I gotta say, I mean, you know, Jeff Sessions has been somewhat of a disappointment, to put it mildly, as Attorney General, starting on the day that he recused himself for really very weak reasons from the Russia investigation. I mean, what did he met with an ambassador or two while he was a senator? I mean, every single senator up on the Hill has met with ambassadors, and he used it as a chance to kind of completely disavow any kind of involvement in the Russia probe. The other really thing that you've got to really realize right now is the FBI is in just complete disarray. You've got people that are, apparently the agency, the Bureau is crawling with agents who are Trump haters. You've got allegations that they lied on a FISA application to get a warrant. You have, you know, them refusing to turn over reams of documents to congressional investigative committees. So you need a strong attorney general, someone who's really going to be able to explain the mess in the FBI and the Justice Department and back up the president. And I don't see a lot of that happening with Jeff Sessions.
Roger, chime in.
Well, it's interesting because normally with criminality, you have to look for it. And here's the president of the United States standing on a rooftop saying, I want my attorney general to break the law. I want my attorney general to protect the Republican Party and suppress investigations that could damage the Republican Party. I mean, I think we have to thank him. It's an unprecedented moment. And you know, for Jason to say that the FBI is riddled with all these various forces that are against the president. Peter Strzok did not get Donald Jr. to accept a meeting in Trump Tower, the original email of which said, this is part of the Russian government effort to help your father's campaign. The Bruce Orr did not get the Republican Party to make Putin-friendly changes to their convention platform. You know, Hillary Clinton did not get the Trump people to invite a bunch of Russian oligarchs to the inauguration. So they can talk all they want about the internal machinations within the FBI. But the flip side of that coin, and the president's tweet today is another installation in it, is a clear pattern of activities that are pro-Putin against the United States. Difficult to explain. And when you go back to Vice President Pence on Face the Nation in February of 2018, he was asked, were there any contacts between the campaign and Russians? And he said, no, 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 of course not. And that's why Jeff Sessions had to recuse himself. Not that he had a couple meetings with ambassadors, but he lied about it in his confirmation hearings. The rule of law matters. And that's why we're having this conversation.
Hey, Jason, I know you want to jump in on that, but before you do, I want to switch the subject with you real quick. All right, let's talk about Governor John Kasich. He was on the Sunday shows this weekend, and he talked about the Republican Party shrinking. Let's listen to what he had to say, and I want to get your take on the other side.
Fortunately, our party is shrinking. We're now down to about 25%. It's all becoming like a remnant. Now, parties go through this, but the party has shrunk.
I was confused what he meant by 25%, Jason, but you know, let's remember too, I think both parties have a problem. Democrats too, Republicans too. What did John Kasich mean, and is his voice relevant right now in the GOP?
I totally agree with you about the confused. I'm not even sure if John Kasich is still a Republican by the definition of what the Republican Party is today. The party has left him, or he's left the party, or he's left his mind. I think he has Trump derangement syndrome, and it's clouding his view of his own party and even what's happening in his own state. He would know that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of registered Democrats in Ohio switched parties and voted for Donald Trump. These are people that supported Obama, and you would think that would have supported Hillary, and they absolutely did not. And it was happening right under his own nose in his own state. So I really do, and even when he was making those comments on Face the Nation, he seemed to contradict himself with his own example. He said, well, you know, all you need is the evidence is that the special election that was held here in Ohio, you know, was so close. Well, the Republican won that. So yeah, you know, I mean, and he won it in a district that voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. And so I'm not really sure exactly if he knows what he means. I think I've heard lately, I feel like he's sort of such a never-Trumper that he wishes ill will on his own party. It's a very bizarre thing for him to say.
And he's not running for, he's term limited, so he won't be running again anytime soon in Ohio.
Yep. All right, Roger, let me get your take on that. Or let's just talk about the Democrats as we head into the midterm. We'll switch switch here again. What do you think the chances are? Are they looking good right now?
Well, every candidate needs to start with a blank piece of paper and fill that piece of paper with exactly what they want to do for their district, how they want to help families educate their children, get better jobs, move forward, plan for retirement. Factoring in your opponent's strengths or weaknesses, you can't assume that your opponent's weakness, and in this case is obviously the president's legal issues, are automatically a strength. So every candidate out there, frankly, on either side, needs to start with that blank piece of paper and fill that out, and that is the basis of their candidacy. Very quickly on Governor Kasich, because I'm not often in a position where I'm advocating for a strong Republican Party.
15 seconds, Roger.
But we do need one, and in the course of the last 2 years, they have given away fiscal discipline by borrowing $1.5 trillion. They've given away family values, obviously. They've given away patriotism, Helsinki. So I don't know what even being a Republican now means other than total obedience to President Trump.
There's plenty of Republicans that know exactly what it means.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to stop it right there. Republican strategist Jason Meath, Democratic strategist Roger Fisk. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Sorry we have to cut you guys off because we got to move on, but we appreciate the conversation.
As always.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.